Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Combo Breaker 99. I'm back with the video here. Just been busy the past few days, been getting in a lot of work. So, the job, been calling. But yeah, been doing a lot of hours. So, I've been away. I did watch the fight, of course, the Spence Garcia fight. I just haven't got around to talk about it. But what I'm going to do now is just kind of talk about a little bit of how I felt about the fight overall. And just a couple points I want to talk about. But just so you know, Thursday, I will be going in on the Jab podcast. If you go to thejabeffect.com or if you go to iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, and SoundCloud, if you go all of those platforms and just look up the Jab podcast, that's where I'll be doing a new episode, and I'll be going in on with my man Boxing P. We'll be going in on the fight as a whole. We'll be talking about the whole event, and yeah, man. But today I just wanted to talk about the overall fight. Real quick, I felt like Errol Spence did what he felt he needed to do, and he did what I like to see him do. He kind of turned down the power in the fight, and he just kind of boxed his way to a comfortable decision against MIkey Garcia. And him taking the power out, the power element down a little bit, because in the past, when he fought guys like Kell Brook, Leonard Bundu, he was hitting them with some badass shots. And I mean, not to say he wasn't hitting Mikey with some bad shots, some killer shots, but, I really felt like he was really taking their head off. But in this fight, I kind of felt like he went with being more of a strong hitter than just like a crazy, hard power puncher. I felt he kind of took it down like that just to kind of show an example. Mikey was the one that kept saying, I see a little bit of myself in him, but I'm better. Like he does everything I do, but I do it a little bit better. So Mikey was, so Errol Spence was basically like, oh for real? He took it down and was like, hey, all right, well, I'm going to take it down and let's go 12 rounds, and I'll show you who's the better boxer. And he did that, man. Beautiful footwork, a good pumping jab the whole fight from the first round. He kept pumping a jab right in Mikey's face. And I know like a lot of people were saying like the first 2-3 rounds, they were trying to say Errol Spence was having a hard time. But, I feel like he was just feeling Mikey out. He was just touching him with the jab, winning rounds, because that's what you do. If you figuring your opponent out, at the same time, you want to win rounds. You want to go ahead and keep touching them and piling points up so you don't fall behind, even if you are just feeling them out. Win feel-out rounds, too. So, Errol Spence, I felt he just kept slamming that jab right on the guard, right on the arms of Mikey till he was busting right through the guard. And just doing that just to set up the left hand. And you could really see, like, after the third round that Mikey was like, oh, shit, what did I get myself into? You know what I mean? He really kind of felt like, I can't do what I said I was going to do. I can't expose that little thing that I saw Errol Spence making the mistakes in. I can't expose those holes because he's too strong, and he's better than I thought he was. You could kind of see that after the third, fourth round because Mikey's body language changed. Mikey was never really set to counter or set the time. Every time Errol Spence was on attack, he was right in defense mode. You know what I mean? Like, he had the hands high and in defense mode, but he was never like in a position to counter or really time Errol Spence. He was just like surviving. If you look past the fourth round, he was really surviving because even after like the fourth or fifth round, sixth round, he would always like raise his hand going back to his corner feeling like, oh man, I'm glad I made it out of that round. Every time he kind of pumped his fist up like that, I kind of was getting that feeling like he just wanted to last at that point because I think after like 6 rounds, he really found out he was outgunned, outstrengthed, outskilled by Errol Spence. And that's the thing, man. Like a lot of people underrated, they were underestimating Spence as a boxer. I said this in the past, like a lot of people they said they feel like they don't see something special in Errol Spence. Well, when a guy hits that hard or he's that strong, he hasn't really had that chance to show it. But, he is on top of the division for a reason, whether he is just knocking people out. He never looked like a one-trick pony to me. Errol Spence always looked like he had the complete package because, hey, you heard the stories, the guys he sparred with, Floyd, Broner, some of the other guys he sparred with, I can't remember their names, like some bigger guys, some middleweights, they were saying this guy's the truth, Even the Charlos, they show Errol Spence that respect because they know that's what type of guy he is. He's not just a puncher, but he's a boxer. And why draw it out most of the time if you can go ahead and knock people out? But in this fight, I felt like Errol Spence, he was hitting MIkey Garcia with some hard shots, but you got to give Mikey credit. Mikey is a durable guy. He had the chin, and he had the guard. You know, he definitely had the guard, if anything. Like, a lot of the times Errol Spence would hit him, and he did have good, you know, blocking the temples, blocking those soft spots on his body. You know, he had the elbows, you know, tucked in good. So, but if you still look at his face, the power and the strength of those punches are there, man. Whether you blocking him or not, that shit still hurts. You know what I mean? So Mikey taking that accumulation of punishment is still not good. And like after the 10th round, you know, Robert Garcia was like, hey, you know, I'm gonna stop it if you're not doing anything. But he was like, give me one more round. So they let him go the whole way. So yeah, man, just looking at all the little things in this fight, overall, I really felt like this was a good fight for Errol Spence. You know, I enjoyed it. You know, it kind of reminded me of Winky Wright versus Shane Mosley, where, you know, we got the smaller guy moving up who was able to do what he wanted to do in the lower weights. But as soon as you step out of your element, you got to have something special to nullify the bigger, stronger man, especially if this is a division. You know, Shane, he learned that fighting the guy like Winky Wright twice. You know, the first fight, Winky was just, you know, all around strong, just jabbed the hell out of Shane Mosley and kept him from trying to get on the inside any type of way. You know, same here, man. Errol Spence, he kept Mikey on the outside, you know, with strength and power. And at the same time, you know, good angles in boxing. You know, Mikey Garcia never could really get his feet planted to set up any type of counter because, you know, Errol Spence was spinning out of the ropes. You know, he was moving, always poised to counter, always poised to punch. Just all around good performance, you know. And I feel like, you know, Mikey Garcia, he really underestimated Errol Spence here. You know, him being a boxer, him being a student of the game, you know, he should have really paid attention to a guy like Errol Spence before you talk about him like that, because he kept saying he was better and he saw something in him. Well, you must haven't really studied him. You know, you must haven't really studied him, you know. And you gotta study a guy like that, especially, you know, you going in there and you see that knockout ratio. You know, like I said, he has an 88% knockout ratio, and you sitting here saying that, oh, I can expose him, but you moving up. And yeah, man, he just proved not to have it like that, man. And going back to what I said in my breakdown video, I felt like Mikey Garcia is a good basic fighter. You know, he does all the basics well, but he doesn't have that one it factor to get him out of the, you know, to get him out of that element and really make him level up and expose guys. You know, a guy like Terrence Crawford, everybody's saying that fight is 50-50 for a reason, because Terrence Crawford has something a little bit more. You know, he has something a little bit more than just the basics. You know, he has something in his feet. He has something in the defense and the way he makes his adjustments. The way he makes his adjustments isn't by the book. You know what I mean? Like, everybody got to have a little something, you know, to make them special. And I feel like Errol Spence showed you why he was special Saturday night. Yeah, man. So, yeah, that's all I got to say on this one for now. You know, like I was saying, I'll go in more on the New Jab podcast episode on Thursday, and might drop it Wednesday, but I'll let y'all know. But yeah, man, and again too, man, going back real quick, Mikey Garcia, you know, a lot of people saying this was a moral victory for him. I got to disagree with that, because for me, like, I don't really see a moral victory in boxing, man. You could really get yourself hurt, man. I see, you know, feeling like, hey, I go in there against a bigger man and survive. That's not a good thing. You know, going in there with a big man just to survive 12 rounds, that's dangerous. You know, I think you should always try to win. To me, a loss is a loss, especially if you can't find any way to win. You got to chalk it up as a loss. I can't go in there and say, walk away and say, okay, you know, he beat the hell out of me, but I survived for 12 rounds. I'm not going to go home and think about that in a good way. You know what I mean? Especially if I got like a concussion and, you know, got a busted nose. I'm going to feel like, damn, I couldn't expose the guy like I felt I could. You know, there's no moral victory in that. You know, that's how I feel. Like, a guy going 12 rounds and he can't be able to do anything but survive. You know, that's just a lesson learned, if anything. You know, you can at least learn from a loss, but you can't really call that a victory, man. But yeah, man, that's all I got on this one for right now, man. If you agree with me on that or not, you know, I don't care. That's how I feel. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of the fight altogether. Who you want to see Errol Spence fight next? Who you want to see Mikey Garcia fight next? Me, Spence, Crawford, done, man. That's all I want to see for the next fight. But yeah, man, let me know what y'all guys think in the comment section. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. Support my channel, man, and support the Jab Effect YouTube channel as well. Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Peace.